Only your parents truly want you to succeed, Mason brainwashed me. Everyone else is jealous. Don't listen to the haters. At 11, I got into the country's top music conservatory prep school. A legendary professor took me on as his final student. The news shattered our small town. Reporters camped on our lawn. Mason loved the clout. He stood on the porch, selling his toxic brand of love to anyone who would listen. I told Winter, piano is your life. If you don't play, you might as well be dead, he bragged to a journalist. My discipline is strict. Once, she played a note wrong 3 times. I slapped her face. On the 4th try? Perfect. He laughed. Kids are animals. They need to be broken to be built. She might hate me now, but she'll thank me when she's famous. The headline screamed, the 600 slaps that made a genius. Some parents were horrified. Most were envious. They came to our house, asking for advice. Isn't that too harsh? One brave mom asked. That's why your kid is average, another parent snapped back. We moved to the city. Mason sold our house, sent my mom to live with her brother to make money, and rented a cramped apartment near the school to supervise me. On the first day of orientation, the principal asked if any parents wanted to speak. Mason shot his hand up. He grabbed the mic before anyone could stop him. My daughter, Winter Fox, is the youngest here, he announced, his voice booming. But I promise you, she will outwork every single one of you. She isn't just going to be the next great soloist. She is going to destroy the competition. I shrank into my seat. 300 heads turned to look at me. I tugged on his sleeve. Dad, please. Stop. He glared at me. Louder. You need to crush them. From that day on, I was a pariah. I had no friends. I didn't know the slang. I didn't know the movies. I ate lunch alone in a bathroom stall. I studied alone. Everyone knew I was the top student, but they also knew I was a freak. After a year of this, the school nurse diagnosed me with clinical depression. Mason was baffled. Depression? I grew up with dirt floors and I'm fine. She wears designer clothes and goes to a private school. What does she have to be sad about? He read online that trauma makes better art. He came home grinning. It's a gift, Winter. Use the pain. It'll make your Chopin sound authentic. He picked up the belt. Now. Practice. But that day, I didn't practice. I ran. I climbed the fire escape to the roof of the school. The wind on the 20th floor was violent. It whipped my hair across my face, stinging my eyes. The city looked like a circuit board below me. I stood on the ledge. My toes hung over the abyss. A voice in my head, a small, 5-year-old voice, whispered, jump. Do it. Then he'll finally be sorry. I stood on the ledge. My knuckles turned white as I gripped the rusty railing, ready to vault over. Winter Fox? The voice hit me like a splash of ice water. I whipped my head around. A boy stood there, framed by the wind. He was tall, wearing a crisp white button-down that rippled against his chest. His bangs swept across his forehead, revealing eyes that looked too clear, too calm for this height. You know me? I asked, my voice cracking. He laughed. It was a low, easy sound. Who doesn't? You're the #1 rank. Ethan Sterling. He was a grade above me. Another piano major. What are you doing up here? He asked. I froze. I couldn't say. I'm measuring the drop. What are you doing up here? Chasing the golden hour, he said. He pointed a camera at the horizon, where the sky was bleeding into a bruised purple. Best view in the city. I blinked. Me too. I'm here for the view. That evening, I didn't jump. Instead, I sat next to Ethan Sterling, our legs dangling over the edge of the world. The sunset painted his profile in gold. Hell looked like a statue, something expensive and untouchable. I didn't peg you for a sunset watcher, he said, snapping a photo. You look like you don't care about anything but Chopin. I looked down at my scuffed shoes. My dad says nothing else matters. Ethan lowered his camera. He looked genuinely shocked. That's sad. There's so much else. Like what? Cheeseburgers. Hot showers. Movies with someone you like. Ice skating in the winter. Watching the sun go down. No one had ever told me that before. I got home 2 hours late. It earned me the worst beating of my life. Mason didn't just use the belt, he used his words like knives. He screamed that while I was wasting time, my competitors were practicing. I was falling behind. He didn't know I hadn't been wasting time. I had been delaying death. My mother, Elizabeth, tried to intervene. She rushed forward, grabbing his arm. Mason, stop. She's bleeding. Mason shoved her back. You want to take responsibility for her failure? You want to explain to the world why she's a loser? Elizabeth shrank back. She lowered her head and let the belt fall. She knew the rules. The news reports said Mason Steele was a genius educator. The 600 slaps were necessary. Who was she to argue with results? The night ended with no dinner and 4 hours of penalty practice. As I sat on the bench, shaking from pain and hunger, Mason leaned over me. He smelled of stale sweat and rage. You keep writing that you want to die, he hissed. So do it. But as long as you're breathing in my house, you play the damn piano. My hands froze over the keys. I looked up, eyes wide. What? He sneered. Why are you staring? You read my diary? Read it? He unbuckled his belt again, just to make me flinch. I don't steal anything. I check on my investment. He sneered. And let me tell you, that emo garbage is pathetic. He turned to my mom. She writes this trash for attention. She's trying to manipulate me. He leaned close to my ear. You think you can threaten me? Go ahead. Drink bleach. I'll even buy it for you. But until you're in the ground, you work. That night, my body burned with welts. Through the thin walls, I heard him laughing about my suicide note. But I didn't want to die anymore. Ethan Sterling said he'd be waiting for me on the roof tomorrow.